Hey, everybody in SketchUp land. That's not the right background to have. Let me get this one out of the way here. Um, yes, welcome to SketchUp Live. Are you kidding me? It's Friday. It's June 7, and it is SketchUp Live Day. That's right. You are in the right place. And we have a great show in store for you today. So, hey, just buckle up and get ready. I am Matt. And I'm here with my co-host Donovan today. Say hi, Donovan.
Hi, Donovan.
Very good. And this is kind of a special stream today. We've never been paired together for a stream before.
Yeah.
This is kind of the cat's away, the mice will play kind of situation here because Aaron and Eric are out of town traveling. So we are taking over the stream. It's a stream takeover on SketchUp Live here today. I couldn't figure out the exact right word to use for myself. I was like, okay, am I a SketchUp novice? Am I a SketchUp intermediate? I ended up, you can see on the title here, I put intermediate, but you think that's a good description of our kind of our level of SketchUp skills here?
You say we are not in the same level. Like I wouldn't say quite noob level, but if there was a noob on the team, I would be the noob. So I think intermediate is very applicable for your level of SketchUp.
Right on. Well, that's very nice of you to say, but yeah, no, we need to get you in the modeling seat one of these days too. You know, the SketchUp noob stream, or a little bit above noob stream.
Yeah, that's what it'll be called, a little bit above noob.
So yeah, that's kind of the angle that we're taking here today is, look, I'm not an expert like Aaron or Eric are, but if I can get a couple pointers from you folks in the chat today on how to model. I mean, it's in the title. You already know what it is. It's the Lincoln Memorial, one of the most, sort of identifiable buildings, I think. And it's actually on theme, too, because I was just in D.C. earlier this week. And that's where Aaron and Eric are. They're out of town for the American Institute of Architects conference. That's AIA conference is in Washington, D.C. this year. And of course, the Lincoln Memorial's in D.C. on the National Mall. So yeah, like I said, it's one of the most recognizable buildings that's out there, I think. And hopefully my model will be recognizable as that as well. We shall see. Depends on how much help you guys give me. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for our intermediate stream today, and let us know where you're coming in from for sure. And please don't be afraid to drop hints or tips in the chat to get me off to a good start here, because I'm nervous. I'm nervous. It's hard to tell.
You say you're nervous, but last time you were in this chair, you modeled level 1 from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and there is so much random geometry in that level that this should be a cakewalk, because you can just copy and paste so many pillars, and like it's a lot more straightforward geometry than a skate park. So I think you're gonna do great. This is gonna be awesome.
That's what I'm hoping. A lot of components and you know, hopefully some tips if you're at Donovan's level or at my level, hopefully something that happens here on the stream today you can glean and use for your own projects. Or maybe just in for the ride and see how I what I stumble on, but either way, who cares? Let's get into it.
Sven says you do need help with t-shirt selection for the show.
Yeah, Aaron always has, it seems like he has a different shirt every day with like some kind of, whippy repartee on it. And I'm just, hey, keep it classic. Keep it, I'm on brand. That's what I'm representing SketchUp
Yes,
here today.
you
So
are.
I'm trying to,
You are very on brand. Yeah.
as if I was at the AIA booth telling people about, yeah, here's how to model, I don't know, Lincoln. I probably won't get to the statue, but we shall see. Hey, there's time. Yes, how I'm going to start today is so we make a forum thread for every live stream. We do live streams every Friday if this is your first stream. So we do live streams every Friday on YouTube and multi-stream to other platforms as well. And there's a forum thread with a link in the description. And you can probably see my face here. This is how I feel about modeling this today. But Paul on here was very nice to kind of give his 2 cents on what would be a good kind of step-by-step way of approaching the model. And thank you, Paul, because I think I'm just going to straight up copy it and use it as my kind of my go-to here today. So literally copying it. Control C. Aaron's so good at like talking through everything he's doing, and I am not, but I will try to. So Control C, Control V to put this text on screen. That way, when I'm rotate around or orbit or anything, it still is on screen. So this will be my kind of step-by-step guide here today. I also do have a couple images that Paul also had a link to here. So I downloaded a couple of these images from, I don't know what they're from, US Historic Building Survey or something like that. So I believe they're accurate. And so I'm going to set them up as reference images in a way that works for me. So let me try to do that now. I'm going to import and have it on my handy dandy desktop here, Lincoln Memorial reference. Main level plan is the first one I'm going to do. And I'll just bring this in at an arbitrary scale because I'm going to scale it up after this. So that looks fine.
Speaking of great segues and importing, we have a huge audience importing themselves from all over the world. We got, yeah, that was a terrible segue.
No, that's
but we got
stretch,
people
but it works.
From Newfoundland, from Syria, from Hungary, from Vancouver, Canada. Warm Vancouver, Canada? What? Warm Vancouver, Canada. We got people from, oh man, I don't know if I could say that, but it's in Poland.
Poland you can pronounce.
Yeah, Poland I can pronounce. Windy Oak? Not Windy Oak? From Norway? Oh my goodness. All over the place. It's amazing to me every time we do this, just the international audience we have for content that is sometimes random, sometimes out there, or just pretty straightforward like it is today.
Yeah, hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Welcome in to SketchUp Live. Happy to have you here. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you are not familiar with how to, this is one way to resize your SketchUp model to be like for scale drawings like this. So what I'm doing is I'm picking the longest dimension on this plan here and just straight up drawing that in with a line tool, and then using the tape measure tool, which T on the keyboard is the default shortcut for that, and then drawing clicking on either end, and then I will type in this long number here, 257 feet 1 3/4 inches, and hit enter. Do I want to resize the model? Yes. So now just to double check, I'll use the line tool here, and in the bottom on the measurements box there, you can see it's exactly what I just did. So that's to scale. That's good. I'm going to move this. Let's see. Try to line up all my references. And I'm going to put these also on a tag that I'm going to call reference. Which is, okay, cool. Tag. And now I can switch that on and off. Okay. Import. Go. North, let's see, I'll do the east elevation first. Doesn't really matter what order. And I think if I just, because these are the same like scale and everything, I think if I just use that same size, then it should come in, because they're both, oh, I got some Z fighting here, but 1:96 scale here. So I'm going to use Q to rotate this 90 degrees, and then use that same point here on the image to line it up.
Johnny 5 says check scale on both axes and use guidelines, preferably on their own tag.
Ah, yes. That is a good tip for sure. Okay. Also put this one on the images.
Guidelines is a topic that comes up when Aaron models, because I don't think he uses them too often.
No. No, more the sacrificial geometry type. Which, hey, that also works. North elevation. I think I'm just going to do these 3 for now and then have this kind of little reference box here. Okay. Same deal. Q for rotate. I'm using the arrow keys to switch what axis to rotate on. 90. And then I will rotate it again, 90. Move it down and back this way. Let's see here and over. Make sure that's on the reference tag. And then now if I go to any particular view here, I can see exactly what I'm looking at for the reference images, and then easily turn those on and off with the tag. Okay, so step 1, not even on here, step 0, I guess you could say. And now quarter the main body and component it. Again, thank you, Paul, for your note in the forum thread. Quarter the main body and component it, mirroring it to get the remaining 3. So the main body of the building is kind of on this top step. So that's what I'm going to do. So that way it includes the pillars and stuff, and then I'll do these steps separate. So in order to get the right size for this outer building here, let's see, I have the dimension for like the bottom of these steps. And I guess I could add these up to make the... Okay, here's what I'm going to do actually. I'm going to... just go from the whole steps, and then these steps are 3. I'm just going to ignore this 1/8 of an inch sumi, but I'm going to go just do 3'3" for each of these steps. So okay, I'm going to do the entire thing. So rectangle this way, and again, this is like referencing off a JPEG, so it's not exact, but I'm going to try to get it, you know, as close as possible, and then just use the actual dimensions to get the right numbers. So this one is 202 and 2 inches, we'll say.
202 and 2 inches.
That's this number right here that I'm looking at. I'm just, like I said, kind of rounding up to the nearest 1/8 inch. I don't need to get this eighth inch accuracy. And then the other one is
That'd be pretty accurate.
132 and 2. So I always look in the dimensions box because I forget which dimensions first, but I guess it's red, green. So the red is the kind of the longer one, as you can see here. So that's the first dimension that I'll type in. So that will be 202 feet, 2 inches, comma. I already forgot. 132 and 2 inches. 132 feet, 2 inches. Enter. Huzzah. Okay. I'm going to turn my reference images off for this. I remember, or I could just look at it on here. Each step is 3'3", 3'3". So I'll just use the offset tool here. 3 foot, 3 inches. And then I should be able to double click to do that again. Yeah. Okay. And let's see, I'll just make these stairs straight up. So now I have the main floor is like at my, 0 Z height. So I'm going to build these stairs down. And I did look online. There was some statistics page, some government's thing that says the height of the stairs. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Platform under colonnade, 8 feet divided into 3 steps. So I'm going to use guides for this. So I'm going to use the tape measure tool, and then pulling from an edge will give me a guide like this. So I'll do 8 feet because I started in that downward direction. So it goes straight down. And then I'm going to move this and make a copy using the modifier key, which is Option on Mac and I think Alt on Windows. Bring it all the way up to that top one, and you can see in the bottom that's 8 feet. And then I'm going to do divided by 3. Right? Yeah. So then if I pull this down, oops, did I go 8 feet? Yeah. This, go to the first one. This will go to the second one. And this needs to get orient faces. Okay. There we go. Guides come in handy.
Peggy says, not sure if it will help, but I just uploaded a pic to the forum of the memorial from my trip to DC back in 2016.
Oh, it's a great photo. Look at that, big crowds. See, I told you this is a popular building. Nice. Yeah, we'll reference that for sure. Thanks for dropping it in. Okay, so I have these stairs in here. I'm going to, just to make it easy for myself, make sure that that's right on the axis, or the origin, I should say. And then we're going to do, now we finally, okay, we're 16 minutes in, we'll get to the first step of this thing here. So I'll make a rectangle of the entire thing, and then I'm going to use inferencing to this midpoint here, and then I'll also inference this midpoint. And then let's see, then I can these and delete this. Now I just have 1/4 of this entire thing, so that'll be my component. So I'll in this case I just need to double click to select all the geometry, right click, make component, and I'll call this building order.
Ooh, Lawrence says save.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some of our experts recently have tried to live dangerously and don't save. So I guess if you want to, live dangerously.
That's not for me. I don't have the speed in order to catch up if I lose all my progress here today. So I will be saving. So thank you. Okay, so we have the main quarter of the component. I'm going to use the flip tool, which I did go through and make some keyboard shortcuts here today. So I think I have Option F for flip. Oh yeah. And then I'm going to drag this red so that it will mirror along this axis, and hit that Option key again to make a copy. Select both of these and I'll kind of do the same thing for the green. Like that. Okay, cool. So now when I make a change just to this, all these change. So that is good. We only have to do 1/4 of the work. That's going to save us some time. Okay, and now we have, I'm actually going to hide these stairs for now. Or maybe I'll put the stairs on a tag. Stairs. Stair. That works. Think. Okay, cool. Now to make the columns. So I'm going to make the columns separately and not kind of in exactly where they are. I think I'll move them to where they are in a sec. But okay, so make each column a component. Start with the square capital. And I did read this before. I don't have an architecture background or really a design background like the other modelers on our team. But so I did have to look up what the capital is. But that is the kind of the top of these columns here, this piece. And so from the reference image, it says here, looks like the space between them is the same as the size of them. So what we'll have to do is make, I'm going to use this direction here to make 12 columns with 11 spaces is 23 units. So I'm going to use the line tool, and because these are components, they don't stick to this geometry. So I'm just going to move that out so I can see. This is the entire width of the building here. And I'm going to right click and say divide. And then I could either use this handy dandy just hovering over will let you see how many pieces divide into, or you can type in the exact number which I need, which is 23, enter, and then now one of these pieces hopefully should be the exact right side of a rectangle for one of our capitals.
Sven says you're doing great.
Yay! Thanks, Sven.
Kagi says, boom, pro level modeling mat.
Boom! Boom shakalaka. Thanks for the support, folks. Much appreciated. I need the encouragement, so thank you. Okay, so we have kind of our one thing. I'm going to double click that and then make this a component and say column. And then let's see, I'll put this in the component now. So cut, Command X, and then I'll go into this component, edit, paste in place. And then I'm going to move. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Move this way, just so I know that they're the exact right spacing, and say, since there's 11 spaces or 12 columns, but I have the copies, I'll say divided by 11. And that should have, and then I have these kind of extras that are over here that I can get rid of. And then now I can have the columns in there, but they're not squares, of course. So let's see, this I guess all these, I'm going to move.
It would make it a lot easier if they were squares.
Yeah, how come nobody makes just square
columns anymore?
Just keep it square, baby.
Hey, you could make it a Minecraft Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier.
It's a way to go there. Mike says if you draw the columns with entices.
I looked this up too. Okay, yeah, continue.
I'll be impressed. Okay.
It won't be
I don't know
exact
what
mathematical. Okay, cool. So I looked this up earlier because I thought it was interesting. So, a lot of this neoclassical architecture that DC is known for is using Roman architecture ideas. And one of those is that when you look at a building from far away, the columns look like they kind of bulge out. like it's just like an optical illusion of your eye. It just looks like it bulges out. So people, made columns originally like that, just straight up and down, and then they're like, wow, this kind of looks not right. So the idea, if you zoom in close enough to one of these, is you can kind of see that at the bottom it's bigger, and then it kind of shrinks in towards the top to correct for that optical illusion. So when you see it in real life, it looks like it's straight up and down, um, but it's actually not. So yeah, it's correcting an optical illusion. Entasis. So yeah, I'll get to that in 1 second here, but I'm gonna right now move these up, and I think the bottom of architrave. It's like an architecture rave, I guess. I don't know, but probably gonna have one of those at AIA actually, some kind of party at least. I'm gonna move those up 44 feet 2.5 inches. 44 feet 2.5 inches. And then I do have my little parallel projection here, so you can see that's and one thing that also maybe I'll do this. One thing that is an additional correction that that Roman architecture is known for is the columns aren't evenly spaced either. They're more bunched up towards the sides, and then there's more room towards the middle. Again, it just looks more right when that's the case. So as you can see, I copied these evenly, and then there's kind of a little bit, they get a little bit off. So I can just move these based on the plan later. Like I said, I'm not doing like exact, architectural plans or anything like that, so I don't need to get it exactly right. But I
Peggy
will.
says it's a boneyard time for the columns.
Yeah, I should build this off to the side and just do like iterations of it. But I'll see if I can do it just straight up in place like this. So I'm gonna start the push pull.
Peter says great energy. And then Lawrence is asking who all has been to the Lincoln Memorial. I can't say Lincoln, apparently. Lincoln Memorial. Have you
Ooh.
been to the Lincoln Memorial, Matt?
I have not actually. We didn't get a chance to go there when I was just in DC. So no, I haven't seen it in person. We did walk the mall for like a very short time, but turns out it's a pretty long mall. The reflecting pool and the Washington Monument and the Capitol and all that kind of stuff. So it is it's a lot of walking, and it was also pretty hot and humid when we were down there. So no, I didn't get a chance to see it, but it definitely seems like one of those kind of sombering experiences kind of once, inside the temple part of it. I don't know. Inside there's like an inscription that calls it a temple, and I'm like, okay, I can see this being a temple. Okay, so I'm in parallel projection here. I'm gonna get a side view, and I'm eyeballing it. I am eyeballing. So 1 foot 5 3/4. Yes. And again, I'm just going to push pull this, but then use that option modifier to make another face. And then once I go side on view, I'll just put it down here. And it looks like, maybe we can tell from the picture. Ah, interesting. Okay, so there is like kind of a circle thing there. So
We use all the right terminology here, by the way.
every time.
Yep.
Colonnade, the rest. Okay, cool. So let's see.
Paul says, beware scans of hand drawings depend on when and where they were scanned and on what device that might distort it.
Yeah.
So they may be distorted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know how these plans were drawn. It mentioned something about photogrammetry on there, but I don't know if that is right. Some of them were based off like plans from the original construction, which I think got done in 1922. But yeah, like I said, we're just kind of eyeballing it over here. So I'm going to try to draw a circle from that center, and then let's see, how many sides is that? We'll go to the default 24 sides. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull
Is
it.
24 the default?
24 is the default number of sides on a circle in SketchUp, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to kind of pull back to this view and yes, I'm going to say that is precise. Okay, and then same view here again. I'm going to have that selected, scale, and just try to go from the middle, which is, I'm using the same modifier key over and over. It's the option modifier on scale. And you can see in the bottom option is toggle scale around center, because these are, a lot of this stuff is pretty symmetrical. So we're going to go around the center, and there we go. Okay, cool. I'm going to use erase with the modifier to get rid of these little corner lines here that showed up. E. Oops. Whoa. Also, I do not have a 3D mouse, so forgive my erratic panning around. Okay. And we have the capital. Okay, the capital has been capitalized. That's good. Actually, I'll make this a separate component and call it the capital.
The capital has been capitalized. That's a phrase in and of itself.
And then I'm going to move this down to our ground plane here. Okay. And yes, the column bottom, as you can tell, because that fancy E word that you used earlier, what was that? Do you remember that?
Hold on, I need to find it. Let's see. Entasis.
Entasis.
I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right? Entasis? Entasis. Where's the emphasis on the syllable in this? I'm just going to say entasis because that sounds more phonetically correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I buy it. Hey, we're the only ones
Mike
on
says
mic.
Yes. Okay, we'll go with entasis.
Nice.
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, so back to my stats page here. The columns have diameter at base 5 foot. Wait, that's interior. Ooh, good thing I didn't do the interior. That would have been bad. Okay. Diameter 7'5", and flutes in column. And this is another word. The flutes are the little kind of divots in there, the little indentations on the column. So we'll do the bottom first, and including the flutes, that is 20. So I'm going to use the polygon tool for this. I'm going to use that center inference of the circle and pull it out to start. It might be hard to tell from the plans, but the flutes, first of all, there's 20, so 20s, enter. And they face towards the front. Like right now, you can see there's a difference between circumscribed and inscribed. So it's maybe hard to tell. Let's see if I can zoom in and get a better look at that. Maybe if it's like 6 sides, it's easier to tell. So like I was saying, the flat side is facing out, so it'll be inscribed. Yes, inscribed. So I'll switch it back to 20 sides.
That's the word?
And
yes.
Then this is going to be the right one. And it is 7 feet 5 inches diameter. So 3.5 plus 2.5, 3, 8.5, right? 3 foot 8.
Yes, math. Math?
Inches.
Yes.
Okay, so I can get rid of this interior circle. And this is kind of the base of our column there. The way that they look, I also have a kind of this picture too, which maybe will be helpful. It doesn't look like they're straight up just like indents. It looks like they have a little bit of a flat or like a kind of a thing on the side there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make one of those, one little sliver, one pizza slice of this thing, and then copy it around to save myself some time here. So let's see, this can go. And I'm going to put that little flat part, or that little kind of outside of the divot.
Interesting. Mike says this is from the Doric order, which is 8:1 ratio.
Right on. I don't know what ratio that refers to.
And then Peter says, Matt's masterful math matters.
Oh my gosh. You are
That's good.
alliterative.
That's good.
Something else with
Paul
A.
says component the slice. Component the slice.
Oh, component the slice. Okay. Column slice. Okay, cool. And then so I just put like a little bit of a piece on there, and then I'm gonna just draw an arc, just using the regular 2-point arc tool. That looks good, eh? And then before, I can do it after. Okay, so and then I'm going to make a radial array of this. So using the rotate tool, I'm going to use the up arrow to lock to blue axis, and then start the rotate. Use the option key to make a copy, stick it right there, and then 20. Oops. Doink. 20s. No, not 20x. Okay. And then I'll go into one of these slices and what is the modifier for hide? Shift. Hide those so then we don't have any things. Okay. Let's see. So if these are all in one, if they are all different components, I wonder if that's gonna cause me a problem here. So okay, I'm gonna push that up to there, and then maybe I should actually, I'm gonna go back a couple steps. This component is gonna be arrayed around, or as you can already see, it basically already arrayed around the whole building here. And because the default number of sides for an arc is 12, as you can see, there's kind of a you can't see it now, but there we're about showing here. If I turn
the default for an arc in SketchUp.
In
right?
SketchUp, yeah. So if I turn on hidden geometry, you can see all these have like a lot of sides that doesn't really need to have. So I'm actually gonna undo back to when I made that arc on the little slice here, and then see in the bottom right below me, it says sides 12. I'm gonna change that to 4 sides because it's not really gonna be a major. Oops, add this little.
Vincent on LinkedIn says it's the golden mean ratio.
Okay. Golden mean.
Is that different from the golden ratio?
I think that's the same thing. So there is that built into SketchUp when you make a rectangle, it says golden section. So yeah, golden ratio, golden what's the other thing you said? The other golden thing. That's the ratio of the sides to each other. So I think that, the Fibonacci spiral or something. I don't know. People who know about proportions know about that. But anyways, okay, back to doing this thing again. 20x, and I'll unhide the geometry. Now when I go into one of the slices and push it up, 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 and away to here. Okay. We have this. What I want to do is I'm going to turn these off. I want to go into one of my slices here. Let's see. Okay.
So Mike says 8:1 ratio equals the column height is 8 times the column's base diameter. And then Randy says times 19 and you'll save some geometry.
Oh yeah, I probably have an overlapping component in there somewhere. Very good. Look at that. So I think if I move this up, or no, I'd have to move all these. What I'm trying to do is get the to get that the shrinking of the column at the top. I was thinking I would copy the entire base and then just scale it about the center. But because I have these things arrayed, I don't quite know how to do that. So, I'm at a stumbling point. Maybe I could... Because it wouldn't scale it all at once. Okay, I'm going to undo.
Ahmad says scale the top of the container.
Oh yeah, I think it does scale like what do you call that? Non-linearly. Like the bottom third is actually is straight up and down, and then from there it kind of tapers off. So here, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to make a slice out of the or a component out of the slice. Hide. Oops, not that hide. Oh boy. Okay, this, and then now is this still its own component? Back.
Mike says getting the antithesis correct with the fluting is where it gets tough. That's why I said I'll be impressed. Studio RT Cool says foul merge them. Foul merge them. I don't know what foul merge
like
them.
Explode and then merge them all.
I don't know.
I'm gonna see if I can just straight up do it with
Mike says the column
geometry.
starts to taper about 1/3 up the height of the column.
I'm gonna try it this way and just see if it works. 19. Very good. Thank you, chat. And then I will straight up just pull this up. And so now this is all one piece. So if I wanted to change the, the bulge of the thing, I wouldn't be able to, but I'm just trying to
now you can just taper the very top of it, right? Although that would taper it from its base and not 1/3 up the column, correct?
Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do is if I move this straight up and use the modifier to make a copy, I'll do it to that top piece. And then I'll say divide by 3 to cut it into thirds. And then this one, I can
make it look so easy.
Scale about the center to here. And then these ones, I'll scale about the center for whatever. Let's see, maybe 0.95. That looked somewhat right. Maybe a little too much.
When you say somewhat right,
I mean, I can't see the.
Keggy says scale the top. That it looks something.
I think this is too small. I think I need to have this like here or something. And I didn't see what that was. Because I'm going to do this a little bit, the middle one a little bit less, or the top third. So I'll just say, maybe I'll say 0.9, 0.9. And this one I'll say 0.95.
Randy says to hide the slice lines.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that they're the right proportions first. Okay. I mean, that's good enough is good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here and go to entity info just so I can hide these. Same thing here. Hide. Ta-da! Is that super sexy? No. Probably the architect, if he saw this, would be like, "What are you doing, bud?" But you know what? From the bottom, you can't really see that. Just looks nice and clean. So, hey, that's the only way people are going to see it, anyways. Okay, cool. We have these columns. Let's actually make these other ones too. So, if I want to just go like that and say divided by 3. All right. Okay. In here, I'm also going to hide these so it looks, it's one piece. And okay, the colonnade piece is mostly done.
It's starting to look official.
Yeah. And actually there are two on the interior. Let's see if I can use X-ray mode maybe to see through. So there are two of the outside columns on the inside here, but because they're not repeating, I'm going to copy and then come out of the repeating component and then paste it.
Ahmad says save before it's too late.
Yeah, you don't want any mishaps here. Good call. Save. Save. And then I'll make sure this is lined up with this properly.
I know you usually have the soundboard and we don't have the soundboard.
Not today.
I guess we have to be our own soundboards, right?
Yeah. Give me a sounding board. Yeah, or just sing some jingles or some whatever's on there. I don't know, vuvuzelas or air horns. Right?
Yeah.
That's what
Mike says the flute starts and ends with a spherical shape and not all the way to the capital. This would be a 3-hour session to try and figure that out.
Well, we unfortunately don't have time for that today.
Yeah. Frank says, I'm glad I'm not the only one using SketchUp on a Mac.
Yes, you're in good company.
Yep.
Although missing out on some of those studio things, I would be love to have V-Ray as part of the subscription or Scan Essentials or something to get some point cloud stuff in here. But hey, Mac diehard. I'm just so used to I feel like it would take me like weeks to get up and running on how to use Windows machine. Okay. Let's look at our checklist here. 48 minutes in. All the details above the columns seem to be at the same pitch as the columns, so they can be incorporated into the column component after the roof is built. For the roof glass, okay, so let's do the roof. So I do have a roof image. Let me just import that. File, import, Badoo, desktop, roof plan. I'm gonna do that same thing that I did earlier, just like scaling it with the size. This probably isn't exactly right, but I'm going for it. I'm gonna build this off to
Frank is
this.
asking, how are you going to render this?
Ooh, maybe I'll use SketchUp Diffusion to get a look at it. Um, if not, I'll put it up on 3D Warehouse after, and you can render it. I don't have
Okay.
any like proper rendering tools on here, but SketchUp Diffusion is a an easy, quick way to get something looking a little bit different than the SketchUp, interface. So maybe we can try that if we have time. Um, Roof. Okay, so I should probably build this off to the side on a specific number of feet so I know how far it is. Let's say 500. And then I can just inference this in later, so I don't need the exact right to draw it in the exact right place.
Ooh, Randy says ambient occlusion.
Yeah, that'll get you most of the way there. Okay, so that's about right. So 193 and 3 inches, 193 feet 3 inches, comma 122, and I'm gonna forget about the eighth, feet, feet 11 inches. Okay. Okay, that's all. Now that's all I have from that angle. But from this one, it'll tell me, I believe, yeah, here we go. Okay, bottom of architrave. So that's, yeah, where the columns end is to the top of the cornice is 13 feet 8.5. I might just build this entire thing. Should I quarter this? I quartered the rest of it. Let me quarter this, huh?
Yeah, you did, right? Yeah.
Let's do that. Midpoint and midpoint. Right? That was the midpoint.
Paul says, this is why I can't teach. I'm sitting here yelling at the screen. No, do this bit first. Or no, it's not like that. It's like this.
You know what? I would be just as mad at me if I was watching this too. Okay, so I'm doing the roof the same as I did the other thing. And then that dimension was 13, 8.5. So I'll just go in here, push this up. Actually, I'll maybe hide these first. Will that make a difference? We'll see. 13 feet, 8.5 inches. Okay, and that's to the top of Cornice, which of course we all know what that is.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay, so
Monaco says you have to taper the column simply by detecting the upper end and then narrowing the division into segments, and then it is done in a simple way with the intersection of simple rectangles.
okay. Yeah, maybe next time I do the columns, I'll consider that. I'm like, to me, columns are done as far as I'm concerned. 500 feet. Okay, and then would this be, this is a different dimension than the, guess I could inference to the middle of this, right? And then this could go along the red to this point. And then this goes down to top of those guys there. Okay. Let's see. So I guess I could just straight up draw this based off the plan. And then use follow me. Can I see it from this angle? What am I looking at? Okay, I'm just gonna try this. I suppose I should draw it from... Oh, we'll tell you one thing. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, so I definitely not doing this correctly, but or like, you know, don't do this at home. Basically, it's not don't try this at home. It's just just straight up don't do this at home.
Paul says for the profile of the roof you've just built, you could just use the follow me.
Yes. And I think the way to do that is I'm going to go X-ray mode. I'm going to look at it from parallel projection from which side? Align view. And then now, oops, I want to go in this one, align view here. And then I should be able to just draw this out, right? Like I said,
right?
We're not going exact. I should do a rectangle off this. What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, Studio RT Cool is saying his approach was solid. There could have been more intersection points and placed very strategically, but the basic approach is a good one.
Intersection points. Oh, for the columns? Probably.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I have this, and then I'm just going to draw on here. I think this is working out okay. And then that is actually a piece of the, like these kind of fancy things on the end, I think. So I'll just do like this, and then I can add those in later. So then if I delete this, and then go back into, oh, folks, this is why you check that you're drawing on the right plane. So actually, might not be, you can still
Makes
use
a little
this
bit of a
stuff.
difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just drawing off into the distance. Okay, this stuff can go away. And then I want to make sure to draw in the green direction here. Back to that, and then this, connect. And now when I loop around, this little bit can also go. Oh, and same kind of thing here. This just needs to go straight down. And these can get out of there. You know, they call this the follow me tool, but I definitely wouldn't follow me on this way of using it. Okay, so let's see. I have this piece. And then I just want to follow it along this and this edge. So will that work if I just select those? Wait, no, you select the path. Tools, follow me, and
You
then
won't
select the
believe what
shape.
happens next. Da, da, da.
Okay. So that's not what we want.
Didn't it just do like a inverse
Yeah, I did
cutout?
like an inverted one. Chat? What am I doing wrong? Is that gonna work? Oh, I guess I could just straight up then delete this and then this and then fill that in like this. Is that kind of gonna get us what we want? This is a little messy. I'm sure there's a
Ahmad says
lot
align
better.
the profile to the path.
It should be aligned, right? I think this is right. It just is all reversed, and then I need to do this extra cleanup because I drew it incorrectly. If I say orient faces and then go out, does that look somewhat right? Obviously, I need to hide this stuff and this stuff. And this doesn't need to be there. Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like a building.
Yeah, kinda.
Paul
Okay.
says this is what I love about SketchUp. You can make a mess and fix it without having to erase and remake it.
Yeah, I like that too because I'm always making a mess. Here to here. Oh, some of this is missing stuff. Womp womp. Oh, but I don't want that to have a face because that is. Well, maybe I won't be able to see it.
Mike says the top of the Capitol should be proud of the architrave face.
Oh, like poke out a little bit, right? Or no, proud means in line with.
No, well, no, proud of, like you're proud of something. Proud of the architrave face. There's so many words this week that are new to me. Yeah, architrave. Architrave face? Yeah. Randy says this is where I usually hit Control Z about 20 times out of frustration and undo about 2/3 of the model.
Hey, I already did that with the columns. I'm not trying to do that again. Okay, and then get rid of the hidden. Because in the let's go back to the plans. Actually, let's put this stuff on a separate tag. So these are what was that called again? I want to use the correct nomenclature. Cornice.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Bottom of architrave,
The
top
word
of
again.
Cornice. I think this is Cornice. Okay, tag. So I'm gonna
Cornice.
If I'm wrong, let me know.
Cornice.
Tag, and then I'm gonna let's see, select all instances, and I'm also gonna select these and say columns, and tag those columns, cornice, reference, stairs. Okay, we are getting there somewhat. So let's go back to our roof picture here. About halfway done. It's pretty good for halfway, right? I mean, we didn't really do anything on the inside. It's still kind of a mess in there, but It's a work in
Well,
progress.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're an hour in.
Yeah.
So we can call that about, yeah, that's a good halfway point.
Okay, so this second dimension in is the something parapet, of course. Without question, that is what I would call the parapet, at least. So I'm gonna go 157. I'm looking at this number right here. 157 feet and 8 inches. We're rounding here, and then 87 6 3/4. 87 feet. Wait. Oh, I think I might have done that wrong. 157 feet, 8 inches, 87 feet, 6.75 inches. Okay, and then we're also going to quarter this. We're going quarters, baby. We're going symmetry. Okay, here, and then midpoint, delete, and
Piggy says, looks good to me. Randy says to save. Save.
save. You got it. Okay, so then from the top of the cornice to the top of the parapet, which this does actually from this aerial view that I have, looks like it does go down a little bit and then kind of step down again, but I'll address that in a second. Yeah, I'll address that in a second. So to the top, that's 20 feet. I'm looking again right here, 20 feet, 11 and a half. So make my little flip copies here. Flip, 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 flip some copies. And then definitely forgot the number, 20 foot, 11 and a half. 20 feet, 11.5 inches. And I'm going to hide these little items. Okay. And of course, these two. These are going to be parapet. Okay. And then I'll actually put those in a group too. And then move this to not that.
Okay, so Sven says there was an architectural software called Archituron. Not sure of the spelling.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Studio RT Cole replied, I was trained to be a trainer in Architun art. I'm mispronouncing everything. Everything. I'm mispronouncing everything today. Architrion.
Okay.
Architrion. I think is how you say it. Back in the mid 80s. I still have the manuals. I haven't heard of that software. I'm also not architecturally trained, so I'm not surprised that I haven't heard of that software. But
I personally am very thankful that when they came up with the name SketchUp, it didn't have arc in the name, because so many architectural softwares start off with arc. I mean, like, I get it, it's an architecture software, but it's always kind of clunky because it's like architecture on its own is like a little bit of a weird word, but you're used to it. And then like archi something else is like, okay, this is just a little clunky. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
yeah, if my struggling to pronounce anything has been any indication, then yeah.
Okay, so let's do this a better way, maybe, if we can try to figure this out. So last time when I made the profile, it was because I kind of did it, I think, on the corner of or like on the edge of or it sunk into the volume that I already had made. and then it came back out of that. And that's why it kind of wanted to carve out, but also leave geometry outside of it. So I think this one is just, if I go to parallel projection and to the side, not that side, not that side, this side, everything comes out. So wait, apparently it doesn't come out. Okay, so maybe the way to do it is to just straight up push this in. And then, which was the right? I know one of these was the right side view.
Okay.
Reference.
Mike says Archetron.
Archetron.
And then Studio Article says it was a competitor to ArchiCAD.
Yeah. It sounds, futuristic.
Kagi says if Matt looks up from the inside the model, he will see that he needs to fill in the ceiling underneath the cornice.
Yes, good call. I did notice that earlier. It was looking like 4 fins on the inside. Yes, I will get to that for sure.
Randy says sketch arc doesn't roll off the tongue.
Archy sketch. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ahmad says draw a plane outside the shape and then build your profile on it.
Yeah, so I think that is definitely a great call. So I'm gonna just go like this, just kind of on the outside of everything, like you're saying. And then now, right, I should just be able to say, like just add in these little details. And watch for this inference. The blue diamond on face inference is very important here because I do have X-ray mode on and I'm in parallel projection, so I have a tendency to kind of snap outside of that. So that's what I'm watching for here when I'm tracing this. Tracing, strong word, but I don't know. Kind of tracing, just not very accurately. Okay, so now if I get out of all this weird view stuff, well, I guess I did it on the far side. So I should just be able to straight up take this, move it, or a copy of it anyways.
Peter says Architron was the granddaddy of virtual building models. It was developed in the 80s and it's unclear what the company developed what the company developed first, but it was owned at different times by Gimior, Gimior Inc. Bach Technologies. I probably mispronounced 2 of those words.
Interesting. Yeah, it's always cool to hear about the. Okay, what am I doing wrong here?
Ooh, and then Domenico says, can you put the JPEG files on the forum so that we can use them for the exercise too?
Yes, thank you for asking. I can definitely. I'll do that after the stream. I just pulled them from this link that Paul put in here. So when I went to the link, yeah, it just brings you to like this photo. And then if you scroll down, you'll see all these different views here. I just picked a couple of them, but I could, if I wanted to model in more detail and see, exactly how this thing resolves, which doesn't look like something I want to do today, you can do that. And one thing to make sure that you don't do though is the original file. If you just straight up click into this, it is very, very large of a file, which is good if you want a specific detail, but 17,000 by 13,000 pixels, which I thought was a little overkill for what I was doing today. So I actually, all these are this 2,500 by 1980 pixel size. That's the ones that I brought in as reference images here. So just be aware of that. But yeah, I can put the exact images that I use on the forum after the stream for sure. Okay, let's see if this comes up with a little cleaner result. First, I'm going to reverse faces, and then I'm going to say select the path, tools, follow me, and select this face. That's better. And let's see. I think I should be able to just select any two of these, like, let's see if that works. Just for this bottom little trinket down here. I think any of these, because they're just kind of going perpendicular to the path. So I think if I just select those two, or really any two that are connected here, right? I'll use this one. Follow me, and then use this. And that gets me that. Let me get this in here. That little piece there. So that's a little cleaner than doing it the other way. It's kind of sitting on top of
Yeah, that
this
works.
piece, but
Mike says, "How did the Greeks do it before SketchUp?"
yeah, I do not know, because some of those buildings are like very um, awe-inspiring, and without even just not even without SketchUp, just without technology and like modern building and stuff. I'm not one of these, aliens built the pyramids kind of people, but I am like, oh wow, human ingenuity and like, just trying to make it work is pretty impressive if you have your mind set to it, for sure.
Paul recommends next week modeling the statue of Lincoln with special attention to his shoes.
Oh, are the shoes
I
specially?
don't know. I don't know. I've actually never been to the Lincoln Memorial myself, so I don't know. Is there a big thing with his shoes on the statue? Are there no shoes? No, there's shoes.
Maybe he just has really cool shoes.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty cool. Um, okay, cool. So, yeah, there's no detail in here, obviously, but the main structures are in. Let's get the reference images off. That looks, you would think of that as the Lincoln Memorial, right? So far?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. Let me hide. So I have shortcuts here for hide rest of model and hide similar components, because I'm going to try to, maybe I'll use that aerial image to try to figure out it kind of sets in and then down and then in again. So actually, it's more like this.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Oh, I need to have hidden geometry on so that I can
See your reference lines?
yeah, those other lines so that I can push pull that. Although it's not coming out as separate faces. So maybe I will have to draw these in real quick.
Hmm.
Well, I guess it'll be kind of inside this. Let's see. Okay, unhide. Unhide. Making kind of a mess here for sure. I guess I could just straight up pull this down, right? To here. And then this stuff goes away. And then fill that in a little bit. This one and this one. I'm just trying to get that little extra offset thing that's down there. And then this. We'll push pull down. That. Okay, where Deleted something I didn't want to. Oh, I was okay. Yeah, no, that was the right thing. I'm losing it. Okay, hide.
Are you though? Because it's looking great. It really is.
Thanks.
For an hour's worth of modeling, it looks like a building, and it looks like a recognizable building. It looks like the Memorial Lincoln Memorial, even.
Oops. Definitely see the seams of the little quarters, but um, you know, what are you gonna do? It's because that there's a lot of missing faces here. This is because I'm not used to doing like the quarter technique where you know, have stuff, copies of stuff to save time. And normally I build everything like a solid. So I'm like trying to keep it in my mind of what faces not to have and what lines to hide. And then I'm like, okay, then I run into this situation where I have like some hidden lines and maybe a hidden face. And then other stuff that's like doesn't exactly line up. And then I get these weird, you know, seam lines in there. Um, so that's why I normally just do it as a solid. But SketchUp Live is all about making it okay. So anyways, that's what we're gonna do. Let's get the parapet off. I'm gonna fix that weird inside thing. So columns off. This is what yeah, I think Kegi was talking about earlier. So if I'll just straight up do this. And then hide these. Right? And kind of situation here with these lines. There's no faces in there, right? Okay. Nope. Hide those lines. Hide these lines. That's nice and smooth. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a Cornice if I've ever seen it. Okay, so we are going to now do the interior room. So let's get this stuff off and then back to our reference image. So let's go to the top, has a specific dimension as well, wouldn't you know it, which is helpful. So we're going to say parallel projection and make another rectangle from the top here. And that one is going to be, I'm looking at this number and this one, right? Yep. So 155 feet, 6 inches, comma, 85, 11 and a half. And then I guess that just comes, maybe let's draw the whole thing too. So
Tiggy says that there's another pick on the forum from when you get to it.
oh yeah, I'll go right now. Wouldn't miss it. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I can work this in. We got time. We got time, baby. Um, yeah, it's a good photo. Oh, here's the temple thing I was talking about. In this temple. But yeah, no. Cool. Nice photo. I think I'm gonna do this in half. So instead of doing quarters, just because it has this entrance. So there you have it. Half, and we'll say, I wonder if there is a name for that inside piece. I'm just going to call it the inside. Interior half. What else? And I'm just going to straight up trace this out like this.
I guess having everything to scale, it helps. You can just trace it.
Yeah. I guess that probably
I know
comes in this
sometimes
spot.
whenever we do these SketchUp lives, it's kind of looking at a thing and kind of guessing and saying, "Hey, maybe this is right here, maybe this is this big." But there are times when we do get down to brass tacks. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Where we pull up the architectural drawings and we try to make it as as official as possible. Not that this is official in any particular way, but
Oh, this is going to be U.S. government official model here. That piece is still there. Okay. So I guess that probably comes up to the cornice. And then hide rest of model to, speaking of hiding, hide those. Okay. So where are we? This piece still needs to get sorted. That's okay. And same thing there. Messy? Yesy. Oh boy. Okay. So what else do we have? Oh, this needs to go on interior.
Hagee says when using the quarter method, it's probably best to wait until you've finished before cleaning up the faces.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that is probably a good call because I'll just be covering my own tracks the entire stream. I could do the interior columns. Those are a little bit different than the exterior. I'm probably just going to do an image for Lincoln. Oh, I could do the steps in the front, or there's also these, little ornamentation kind of pieces on the top of the cornice. Or also on the very top of the roof, I guess there is these kind of skylight type things. Maybe I'll just do those real quick because I think they're already on here. Yes, that is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it quick. So 58.
And time does fly when you're having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're watching other people be super stressed and you're having fun.
Oh, I'm sweating. There's no question about it. But I'm also having a good time. By 66 foot 4 inches. 66 foot 4 inches. And then based on this picture, I'm doing a very exact thing here of just pushing it up a little bit. What is that, 3 feet? I'll say 3. Keep it. And then go up there. And I think this is at the same height as that. So once I put it in,
I'm assuming those are
top of it.
skylights, yeah? Like
I
that
believe
go all
that's
the way
right.
through.
Yeah, from the pictures I saw of the interior, it looks like they are skylights, yeah. So actually, push this down. And then I'll
Mike says, "Yeah, I'm glad I'm on this end."
it's surprisingly not as fun when you're modeling instead of doing it. Okay, actually here. That's the reason. Dang, that's pretty close. And pretty close is pretty all right for me. Okay, and then this one does have the dimension again. I'll go up top. And I just use Command 1. The standard views that are on here are all Command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Control if you're on PC. So sometimes if you see me like snap to a specific camera view and you don't know how to do that, that's what I'm doing. Oh, I should have my keylogger on. I didn't realize I didn't have that on. Whoops, sorry, folks.
Oop.
Maybe I'll put it on now. Keycaster. Save. Okay, cool. Now I'm reading this thing to make sure I didn't like leave anything out. Only have to build half of the two. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna build these as one and then just make a copy of it. So that is 36, 5 3/4. 36 feet, 5.75 inches. And the other one is 66 and 4 feet. Component. Skylight. And I'm just going to move this into place so that I can inference other geometry in order to make it around the right position here. Doink. And then I'm going to not hide rest of model, but push this up to that piece. And then they are not the same height as the other one. Do we have any images here that say how high the second one is? No, attic floor to top of parapet. Okay, we'll just guess. Maybe it's like halfway up the interior of that thing. So this one is pretty much all the way up, and then actually maybe I'll just draw a line like this to reference. And then in here, I'll go like this and then move this up to that little line that I just drew. Get that out of my way. And move this guy over. Because I didn't really line that up exactly.
Yeah, it's close enough, right?
Yeah, that's close enough right there. Do they have those on this view? I don't think so. Okay. Well, this is centered. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if I draw a line straight across and then divide it. No, this is probably not the right way to do this. And it would be the midpoint of that one, or no?
Would it? Yes? No. Yes?
It doesn't look like, because they're different sizes. Is there any?
Studio RT Cole says mirror.
Oh, yeah. Just in case if I don't know if I'm going to add any more detail to this, but yeah, that's a good call. Oh, that would also get it. Oops. You're right, the same distance away from the parallel projection over here. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, at least then that's evenly spaced, even if it's not in the exact right spot. And then these can also go on the parapet tag. Okay. Let's see. The stairs are not correct because they do have that little 3-step thing down all the way around the side, but there's also like regular human-sized stairs that are not for Big Lincoln. Big Lincoln needs those big stairs, but he'd probably twist his ankle if he was going on these regular human stairs. So yeah, let's try to put
Eric
those in.
says hi from the SketchUp booth at AIS.
Hey, thanks for tuning in from Washington D.C. You're in a good place to go. You should go see the Lincoln Memorial. It's a great place to be if you're in our nation's capital, Washington D.C.
Kiggy is saying that you're coming after Eric's job.
Yeah, you better watch out. You better not cry too, but you better definitely watch out. No, I don't think that there's any chance of that. Okay, so here is a situation where the JPEG would have been nicer to have the higher quality one. I wonder if there is a dimension somewhere about how high the stairs are. Main level floor to bottom of steps. Okay. See me leaning in toward the screen to try to read it. Okay, here, this is the 20,000 pixel wide image. So we'll definitely get a good look at what this main level floor. See if you really want high quality reference imagery.
Because if you can't do it at 20,000 pixels, you can't do it.
Yeah, so you can see why this would slow down your model if you had this. It's even slowing down my browser. I can't even download this fast enough. But okay, 911, 3/8. So yeah, let's see how I want to do that. Stairs. Maybe I'll use a guide. I'll use a guide. So I'm going to tape measure and then draw straight down 9 foot 11 and 3/8 inches. Oh, that's it's not right under the stairs either there. Close that little guy up. And okay, so this is where our kind of our bottom of the stairs plane is at here. How the rest is okay, so this lawn kind of like slopes down here. Maybe we can get there. But first let's try to get these stairs. So back to our overhead view probably. That doesn't have the stairs, but this one does. Okay. This is where I normally ask a question of Aaron or Eric or whoever's in here with me of the best way to do this. Because these things just like slope down kind of. So I guess I could go on the side view and draw from this, like that, like this. And then draw a rectangle up to the ground plane, right? Where's my standard view here?
Yeah, side view. Side view? Is that where you're going from on this one? Side view?
Yeah, trying to get like all turned around here. 2? No. 6. Very good. Okay. Okay, so let's see. It comes up here. And then I'll add these up later. Here. And actually, it's like this. And then I'll add this in with an arc here. Dang, now I forgot which side view I was on. Okay, here we go.
It's easy to get distracted sometimes, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so I have this profile. And what I'm going to do is just move it. Maybe I'll just copy it. Make it a group. Move it this way to here. Oops. What am I clicking on here? Oh, my little ground plane. Oh, told you it's gonna get messy.
Well, at least the messiness came at the end and not the beginning, right?
Yeah. So I want to start the push-pull and then go into reference images. So is that still going? Guess I can do it from this angle. To here.
Nice.
Okay. And then is this all separate? Yeah, okay, cool. Explode, make component. Sure, there's a name for this, but I'm going to call it stair side. And make a copy. Or actually, I guess flip it. Not that. Flip along this. And make sure to make a copy when you're flipping. Okay. Okay, this thing we don't need anymore. So I'm going to erase this. And now we just need stairs. So this actually, we can go into these stairs. We can stairs and say we want to cut this here. Ding. Here. And so I'm just getting these stairs out of the way. Essentially what I'm doing. I guess I should do this on the outside of the stair side piece. But what are you gonna do? Not do that, apparently. I guess I can just these and some kind of situation here. Oh, it looks like I lost some geometry on that bottom step. No matter. No matter. That's still 3 foot 3, right? 3 foot
Yep.
3.
Scaba says, "Good evening from Georgia."
Hi. Thanks for tuning in to my messy intermediate modeling stream.
Well, I mean, you did have the title of the video appropriately titled.
Yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy over here. Okay, so now we have the steps to put in, which, let's see, how many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 17? One of those.
Do you usually go odd number or even number?
Chat?
Just in your general day to day.
Oh, are you talking like,
Yeah,
oh, I would keep it even.
generally.
I would always keep it
Even?
even.
Okay. Do 18 then.
Sounds good to me. Reference, so just from this picture, this thing does step down. So it's at the very bottom of those. So I've seen Aaron do this before, and check me if I'm wrong, chat. But what I'm going to do is basically put a line like this. Oh, that's not the same as that, is it? Let's see. Maybe this wants to move down. And then would that be?
Johnny Five says, looking good, Matt.
Excellent.
Aaron!
Much appreciated.
Aaron's in the chat saying, great job, Matt.
Oh, thanks.
Eric and I are watching from the floor of AIA. No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks familiar, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me get these stairs in real quick, and then I can try to add those little things on the top the next 15. We can do that. We can do that.
I mean, you can take my mantra for woodworking that if you stand far enough away, it looks great.
Okay. So if my calculations are correct, if I put this over here and then get rid of these and then say make this a component and say step and then move this from here to here. Wow. 17x. It's mostly there, right? It looks like it's underneath that, so I'll actually just straight up go into this and say move it up. And then I'm actually just gonna push it out a little
bit. Johnny Five says, hey, Aaron, looks like someone's looking over your shoulder. Matt even used this new thing called guides.
That's right. I'm probably have already used 3 times as many guides as Aaron's ever used on a stream before, so I'm ahead in some respects.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the inside joke to lives. Our own little community references.
Yeah. It's fun. Fun to have a shared vocabulary. I think actually one of these reference images that I had on this page, let me back up, has the size of the actual, like, I'm sure there's a name for it, the little grassy area. Here, this one. 257 by 187. Let's see if this is close. No. Okay. Well, I guess everything else is grouped. I can delete this and then say 257 by 187. Make group. And then center it on here. Center it on this side. Where are we at? Here. And then I think I can just offset it to this. And then if I draw these in, because the grass kind of slopes down, you know? If I move this up, then move this up. What's up?
No, there's just back and forth in the comments. Aaron's throwing his typical wit and humor back at people commenting about his use of or lack of use of guides. He's like, "Are guides new in 2024?"
Okay, I'm probably spending too much time on this, but whatever.
Speaking of time,
Yes.
it's almost that time.
Yes. 10-minute warning. I appreciate that. Oops, let me get in here. I'm just gonna do those little details on the top, and then I am done. And I'm gonna go here, right, and then this here, and where are they? Here. Okay. Okay. So graveyard, bye bye. 8
Yeah.
minutes. We are going to find a picture of. Let's put this picture in. That's nice. For Linky, that's what I call him. File.
As he's more popularly known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. Oh. Hey, chat, what's the height of the Lincoln statue? Or Donovan, whoever gets there first.
Oh, or me. It's a race. It's a race. What? Anybody else got it yet? Anybody else got it? Because I think I found it. The statue, originally intended to be only 10 feet tall, was on further consideration enlarged so that it finally stands at 19 feet tall from head to foot.
Okay.
The scale being such that if Lincoln were standing, he would be 28 feet tall.
Ooh, big man.
The
Big
extreme
shoes.
width of the statue is the same as its height, 19 feet.
Oh. Get that some more of that symmetry in there.
Yeah.
Very good. That you would be good at the fastest finger question if you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you know? This isn't an entirely orthographic picture, of course. So
It reminds me of gosh, first person shooters back in the 90s when some of the stationary graphic was just the front facing things. So you
mhm.
could walk around them, but they're always facing front. Is that 19 feet tall? Is that how small it is compared to the rest of the building?
19. I think I actually did not hit 18, but yeah.
Huh. I always thought it was more imposing in terms of the overall size of the building, but again, I've never been there, so
Yeah, I'm sure when you're in there, it feels very large. But like
Well,
compared to
yeah,
the
yeah.
entire building, I mean, this is a very large memorial too. So yeah, he's still pretty big in there. Lincoln. Okay, cool. Let's get those little details on the top. So I'm gonna go back to my picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Makes sense. So if there was this to the middle, or I guess we have one already in here. What do they look like? Kind of like little half circles on top of a rectangle.
From that distance, that is kind of what they look like.
Let's see if I can get this to be up here. Okay. Draw on the outside.
Lawrence says, leave time for some diffusion.
Oh, we can go a little bit over. I'm not stuck to the two-hour time frame. Okay.
Greg from LinkedIn says, isn't the statue on a plinth?
Yeah, I'll move it up in a sec. Good call. So I'm just gonna eyeball this one. Rotate it.
Ahmad says, go, Matt, go.
Thank you. I feel like I'm always rushing. Everybody else is like, okay, I'm pretty much done. And I'm not. Let's see how many we have on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 looks like. And we'll say it's here. And then these two make ink.
Domenico says arrange the column. Arrange the column.
Oh, like align them to the column? I don't know if they are aligned to the column. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that one as it is. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's really not perfect. That's what we do on SketchUp Live. Okay. Where do we want to? Okay, so we're gonna put this man up a little bit. And then we're going to make this, we're gonna say, this is really hacked together, folks, so don't worry about that. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay, cool. So that is fine. This is a group. And yeah, let's put some lighting effects on it. Sun. It's not geolocated, but who cares? Shadows on. And somewhere here, maybe? Or do we want to see Lincoln in there? Is there a way we can get him lit up?
You could try and match the photo.
Yeah, should I try to geolocate? We have, or sort of at time,
Oh,
but
well, yeah. You want to get that fancy? Yeah.
okay, let's add location real quick. File.
I was just saying matching the shadows in the photo.
Should be able to get there pretty quick. Washington, D.C. Go. No. This isn't right. This isn't right at all. Washington. D.C. District of Columbia, of course. Okay. We're gonna have to rotate her, but be fine. Continue. Get this little guy going. Import. Okay.
Everybody's saying in the comment how good of a job you've done.
Aw, thanks. Thanks, everybody. It's... to like just off. Okay. And move this old boy right down. And I'm just gonna straight up delete. Oh. Okay, brilliant. Let's see. 2016. Okay, the year doesn't matter. But yeah, it looks like it's kind of coming from here. So let's say maybe it's summer, and it's actually kind of close. Let's say position camera. It's further back, I guess, here. Okay. Let's give it a shot. We can get rid of this. Thanks again, Paul, for the tips there. Yeah, let's see if we can see Lincoln peeking through a little bit. There we go. Extensions, diffusion. Ooh, this is the first time I did a fresh install of SketchUp. So that's why I got the little walkthrough here. Exterior photoreal. Let's just straight up say Lincoln Memorial, Washington, D.C., neoclassical, summertime, daytime, dramatic lighting, ultra realistic. I see people put that in their prompts, which I think is
Because realistic is not realistic enough. It needs to be ultra realistic.
ultra. Okay, let's give this a shot. Get the robots working. Man, I've been working enough. Let the robots do the rest over here. Okay. Oh, symmetrical is a very important one to put in.
Yes.
Symmetrical. I'll do that in a second. Let's see. These are, yeah, pretty good. I mean, it looks basically like the model. It looks like the Lincoln Memorial. Maybe we'll do model geometry down low and say symmetrical and see. Maybe I should say like sunset or something, some kind of more dramatic.
Visually striking.
Ooh, clouds, cumulonimbus clouds in the background or something like that.
Studio Ghibli style background.
Ooh,
Big poofy clouds and colorful green hills.
yeah, I like that.
Mm.
Maybe I'll try that. Studio, is that spelled right?
Ghibli, Ghibli.
Mm. Okay, this is the last one. I feel like I could mess around and just be sitting here all day trying to
Oh yeah,
put in more and more
Diffusion
prompts.
is one of those things that you just play around with prompt ideas for hours.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks everybody for tuning in and sticking around. It was a fun stream from my end. Good, modeling exercise for sure. This one's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Little purple.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This has been good. Purpley. Yeah.
Cool. So, let me get to the main screen. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you got some good tips from here. If there's anything that you would like to see in the future, either us take on in this same kind of intermediate capacity where you guys can help out along the way, or just any of our other Aaron or Eric more expert modelers can probably tackle a larger project or something more complex. But definitely let us know your thoughts and hopes for the future in the comments there. I definitely want to also mention 3D Basecamp. So 3D Basecamp is SketchUp's every 2 years user conference that is the best place to learn 3D. So there's going to be the best SketchUp trainers are there, and there's going to be all kinds of impressive professionals who use SketchUp in their very diverse and interesting workflows. Cutting edge. We have a lot of AI presentations that are going to be there. So if you want to stay kind of at the cutting edge and be on the top of your game for SketchUp, or if you just want to learn SketchUp from scratch, or somebody on your team you need to get them up to speed, 3D Basecamp is 100% the place to do that. And that's going to be in Las Vegas this November. So 3dbasecamp.sketchup.com is the place to go for that. I'll be there. Donovan will be there too. So
whole team's going to be there. We'll all be there.
Absolutely. Getting the team back together, and that'll be where it's at. So yeah, come and join us. And be a part of the number one 3D conference, which is SketchUp's 3D Basecamp. Is there anything else, Donovan? Anything I'm forgetting?
No, that I was just gonna say Basecamp because usually that's a good reminder for everybody. It's fun to show. It's fun to throw shade at the presenters every week online, but come throw shade in person.
Come throw tomatoes in person. Heck, bring,
Yeah.
bring the whole deal. Yeah, no, don't do that. But yeah, we'd love to have you there for sure. It's gonna be a fun time. So, hey, without further ado, thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a great weekend out there, and yeah, a great rest of your SketchUp day. So, take care, everybody.